Andy, what do you expect out of Aaron Rodgers this year in 2022?
Yeah, what I can go off of is what I've seen at training camp every day, and that's Aaron Rodgers looks exactly like Aaron Rodgers. I would expect nothing different than what we've seen over the past couple seasons. He looks incredibly accurate. He looks incredibly mobile. He looks in fantastic shape. His arm is as live as ever. There's nothing that I could point to in training camp and what I've seen so far to be like, yep, there could be a decline here. Watch out. Let's see what happens. Like this looks exactly like the same Aaron Rodgers that I've seen over the last 3 seasons with Matt LaFleur at the helm, and I would expect nothing different this upcoming season. We know Davante Adams isn't going to be there, and they're going to have to change up some weapons, but I do believe if they can get healthy along the offensive line, David Bakhtiari, Elton Jenkins, with some of these young players like Josh Myers and John Runyon Jr., I think the offensive line can be much improved. They're going to get Robert Tonyan back at some point, which is one of his favorite weapons 2 seasons ago. Jones and Dillon is one of the best, running back tandems in the NFL. And I think this wide receiver is going to be able to the wide receiver room is going to sort of be able to Frankenstein enough together with some playmaking from Christian Watson, some possession wide receiver stuff from Alan Lazard. I think Sammy Watkins will give them a little bit something different. Randall Cobb will be that slot guy. I think they have just enough. Romeo Dobbs has been fantastic in training camp and preseason so far that they have some unique things that they can throw at defense. And Matt LaFleur is such a mismatch coach. I think he has a lot of different, weapons in his arsenal that he can go to in different situations.
And as we see the stats, Andy, for Davante Adams, of course, there have been some changes for this Packers organization this offseason. Davante Adams, since 2014, nearly a decade in the NFL, has been a top 5 receiver, pretty much based on every number and metric out there. So you mentioned some of the ways they'll try to replace that production. Do you think the offensive scheme at all will change this year, or will it still be focused around number 12 and green?
Oh, it's 1,000,000% going to change, but I think it's going to be interesting in the fact that I think we're really going to see a lot more of Matt LaFleur's offense. In fact, in the 7 games where Davante Adams has been out, I think we've really seen what Matt LaFleur wants this offense to be. And I think it's so easy when you have arguably the greatest wide receiver in football as an absolute cheat code who can get off the line of scrimmage against any corner and has so many different route concepts that he can run and beat corners with and beat them very quickly, that you just look at that side and say, all right, we're going to throw to Davante Adams 20 times a game, and I know he's going to continue to get open. But I think you sort of get in patterns, and we saw that against the 49ers where Rodgers was targeting Adams when he wasn't necessarily open. I think we're going to really see this Matt LaFleur offense flourish in the fact that he wants to really take advantage of mismatches and run his style of offense, spread the ball around, make it so it's not quite as predictable. Don't get me wrong, Aaron Rodgers, Matt LaFleur, this entire offense would love to have Davante Adams here still. It's not going to be easier. It's not going to be better, but I think we're going to see the true version of this Matt LaFleur offense.